So, thank you everyone. I think the context setting has already been done. Wish you all the best. Get well soon, Ankit. So the entire day we had been, we had a lot of experts who spoke about sustainability, technology, uh, how smart buildings are functioning, and everything that we spoke about during the day we were here boils down to the wellness and well-being of the occupants of those buildings, the productivity of the people, especially when it comes to workspaces. And for that, we have some very eminent speakers here, experts in their own fields. So in the interest of time, let me straight away get into the question and ask my speakers here. When we are talking about, we have already discussed a lot of other aspects of facility management. But how is facility management evolving or has evolved in the context of wellness for the productivity of workspace occupants? Captain Collaco, maybe we'll start with you. You are the veteran of the industry. How FM industry has evolved when we are talking about wellness and well-being?
Thank you. Thank you, Sapna. Good question. Actually, since morning we've been talking of a number of topics, AI, and I think probably this is one of the best topics to be talking of, especially after COVID. Wellness was something which everybody wanted right from the beginning. But after COVID, what has happened? The entire dynamics has changed. And for that matter, actually, the entire dynamics for the facility management fraternity has changed. From back burners, or sitting back, we have suddenly come forward. And many of us, of course, from here also and in the audience, we've had the opportunity to sit on the board also. Reason is that you guys have worked your way through it. And since I'm talking of wellness, now what exactly is wellness? Why should we, be talking of wellness? Wellness was never a topic before probably the advent
Before
of COVID.
I think, yeah.
And that's an eye-opener for all of us. So when we talk of wellness, we talk of a few things. I'll just talk about it. Is number one is the indoor air quality monitoring that happens. Many of us have now, many organizations, I think even Gaurav and would vouch for that. We have screens now placed at the reception or probably on each floor, which tells us what is the quality of your PM2, your CO2, the type of the nitrogen oxide, etc. So this is one part which tells you that how good or how bad you are in terms of monitoring your air quality. And that also helps you because nobody ever thought of HEPA filters. HEPA filters and all these filters came only after when you started realizing that there are microorganisms and all these things would happen. So that led to another thing which was predictive maintenance. Previously it was only preventive maintenance. Predictive maintenance came into that after that. Also we had this, many of us now in the corporates follow this, even our cafeterias have dietitians and, to help us monitor the diet. Certain organizations which I know of and I worked with is that we had medical tests which were done for everybody across the board, right from the beginning. I mean, an associate once he joins, till the CEO also. So what happens is, you can sort of indicate or you get a level of the stress that the CEO, CXOs are undergoing. And what could be the preventive measures that could be taken. I was just reading, just about 5 minutes back, I don't know whether Ralph is here or no, but a colleague of mine in GMR, he fainted and he died of a heart attack just about 5 minutes back. Yes, Aurora, he just collapsed on the table. They gave him CPR, he revived, they took him to the hospital, that's the end of it. So wellness is something which, we really have to talk about and we really have to start, worrying about. We talk of, hybrid workspaces which happen. So what exactly is hybrid workspace? It's just a collab.
We'll come to that next because you spoke about, this is the first time that the FM guys were on the same table when the
True.
leasing and everything happened. The same thing happened, even the HR guy says this is the first time that HR people were on the table when the CREs were finalizing the deals, because the whole occupant, because the focus has now come on the workers,
No,
the employees
actually,
well-being.
I was a part of three
Yeah.
startups, and when the investors start talking to you, uh, operation numbers will come, technology will happen. But when they come to the basic dynamics, the brass tacks, as I would call it, it is HR and FM.
Yeah.
These are the two important
Correct.
people. HR helps in getting people, and you help to keep those people.
Retain,
Retain them,
that
also
people.
increase their productivity also,
Correct.
as well as help them to have a better workplace, better environment.
Correct.
So this is what actually wellness should be.
Yeah, Preeti, what would you like to add? As a FM service provider, how you seeing the FM function evolving when it especially comes to wellness and productivity?
Thank you, Sapna, first of all, and very good evening to everyone. So, wellness, I was just thinking, I was highly impressed with whatever Major Aditi said, during 1 minute, the context that, she tried to set. I thought that, she have said everything there about facility management. Wellness, when we talk about it specifically, it is, for me, the kind of ambience that we are providing to the workforce that is coming to the, for work at the offices. Now, we are changing, with the ergonomic furnitures, we are changing with a lot of indoor plants, we are, so this is all after pandemic that, that change I have seen in the facilities management, wherein, we just don't talk about the, again, just not about the jhadu pocha, but then we talk about more and more innovations and initiatives within the premises. We talk about, without wasting money, without, adding too much of money, how we can get very nice fragrance there all around the washrooms. Small initiatives, but then, it actually works towards the wellness of a person. We talk about feedback management system. So it is all again related to smart tools, technology. Why we do that? Why? Because to understand that what exactly one person is thinking while coming to the office, leaving their home, and just feeling that, yes, even if they are away from home, yes, there is somebody to take care of them.
So FM is no longer just about hard services, soft services, but it's more about user experience.
Absolutely,
now.
absolutely.
Correct. Okay, fantastic. Gaurav, what's your views? As per your organization, how you have seen the facility.
Just a quick disclaimer before I start speaking. There's been an accident at our workplace, so there's an emergency that I'm managing. So I'll keep checking my phone. So please pardon me for that. And if at most urgent, I'll step out of the panel just to be respectful to everybody. Coming back to wellness, so I thought today is a very nice topic, wellness, relaxed. And on parallel, I'm managing an accident where 2 boys are in a trauma center. So as they say, such is life, and that's the life of facility and risk managers. We have to, wear every hat and still stay calm. Wellness, for me, the big change of wellness is that, at least for the FM industry, we are no more the executioners of wellness. We are the owners of wellness now. I would say that at least my org and many more orgs now look at heads of facilities administration to own the entire wellness piece versus just take orders and execute. And therefore, that completely changed the mindset. We start partnering with our people, with HR, with business, with the users, and really understand their needs, so we become the end-to-end owners. So I think that's the big change. We are no more executioners, we are the owners of wellness. Wellness starts and stops with us, and everything in between is owned by us. I'm not trying to take away a mandate from HR. I don't want to become HR. That's not my area of interest. But I think everybody is now looking at FMs for wellness. So
that is true, because the facility, the entire physical space that has to be taken care of by the FM function, and HR is also dependent on that, how to, like Captain Collaco said, how to retain the employees and probably attract more. Rahul, what you would like to add in terms of DLF? How do you see, wellness and the role of FM, which has changed or evolved over the years now, especially after pandemic, like everyone said?
Right. So I would say that after this pandemic, everything went around. One of the biggest challenge for us was to get people again back to work. We had an era wherein at some point of time it was believed that people can work from home and it can go till infinity. And the myth got busted very soon. It was not possible for any one of us or the office occupants to continue working from their respective places. Rather than, in order to have a collaborative approach, to have the team building, etc., people had to come back. A few years back, this was the major challenge for us. How do we get the people back to work in the offices? So in a way, initially we started with the push, I'll say push and pull technique. That's how this entire thing was. We were on one side when it comes to the admin, HR, FM, everybody wanted to push the employees to come back to the offices. At some point of time, we realized this is not the way it is going to work. Thereafter, we created an environment by which we started pulling the people and they were willingly to come back. Some of the things which we did at that point of time was, of course, the indoor air quality was one thing. We ensured that every space in the office becomes touchless because touch was a major concern at that point of time. Subsequently, all these things become unsaid norm, wherein the wellness as a package, within that we got multiple stakeholders, wherein be it indoor air quality, be it temperatures, how we regulate them, be it the office space, how do we maintain it, the informal way of having the people sitting in the offices, etc. That's how we generated from the traditional offices wherein standard temperature was maintained as per BIS, etc. Everything was, the AHUs were normal, etc. We moved to a space wherein these all things become more agile, more flexible, and that's how we were able to get the people back. Interestingly, I'll tell you, in one of the survey that we conducted after this entire episode was over, 95% of the people was wanting to come back to their offices, the kind of environment we were able to create for them.
Fantastic. I think that's true because one thing pandemic told us that, or taught us is that going to office is not mandatory. It's a choice now. And that's why it made the organization's job difficult to make the facilities attractive enough for the people to come to the office. Arun, what would you like to add? How your organization has seen FM evolve to?
This is one of the hassles that admin has to face every day. So I think I'm not spared here as well. So before I talk about wellness, I can talk about my wellness today. So, I think I have this complaint for Business World team that, and to her as well, that this is eminent personalities. Before us, so much beautiful leaders came and spoke so well. All my seniors sitting out here, I've been looking up to them for many years. So in having a session at the end of it, my wellness went for a toss. So yeah, so I was like, and she said, eminent personalities. I was wondering, I'm sure that people are going to judge me. It took me 10 days to learn those words and jargons. My seniors have already used it. And thanks to you, ma'am, you're such a great moderator. Even if somebody was forgetting something, hello, let's finish this as well. So it did not leave anything for us per se. So that my wellness went for a toss. So coming back to the subject that I said on the lighter note, it is very, very big word. Let's not use it the way it is used. That's my dictionary of wellness. I've been in the industry for about 25 years, working in the same organization for 20 years. Every day the wellness meaning changes for me, and it should change. That's how it is, because there are youngsters like her who are there, and there are people like me also who've been there. Wellness is a very, very misused word as far as my dictionary is concerned. I want to live to the ground, do the basics right, and that's what I think what my definition of wellness is. Coming back to the, I just wanted to be, I don't want to be, sounds very philosophical here. For me, for my organization, I think what it changed for me was post-COVID especially, and when we were in a spree, we were acquiring organization. We acquired about 5 companies post-COVID. And when you acquire companies post-COVID, when you're not interacting with people, you're hardly going and visiting those facilities as well. To maintain and bring that culture, not only geographical standpoint, for personal standpoint, is always going to be a challenge. So I think what boils down is this, that how well you work your basics correct, and thus you take it forward from there. So that's my 2 cents, and I hope Shilpa is listening. and she'll make it right that next time my first session is there. So thank you.
Fantastic. That's what Arun says. Keeping the basics correct is what all about, productivity and wellness is. If you have your basics right, your facilities will match those standards. Captain Collaco, you also mentioned about hybrid. Now, during pandemic, we started working hybrid, started working remote, and it is continuing for many organizations. How does it create that challenge for the FM function? Because the headcounts are changing every day. So in terms of sanitization, in terms of HVAC, space planning, how is the challenge for the FM function?
Wellness for me is, I'll come to your topic also on that, is more of a culture actually. I think one or two of the previous panels did speak of, I think that was Colonel Narang, I think, who spoke on that, at one point of time, we had a very fixed sort of a routine and sustainability, etc. All those things were matched into it. Today, wellness is more of a culture. And when we talk of, say, flexible spaces as to how exactly, everything is data driven now. For an FM today, all this data, when he sits in the evening or he goes through the data, he looks at the trends, what has happened last 2 days, 3 days, what has been the attendance. Every day you need to reinvent the wheel over and over again for flexible spaces. Sometimes at one point of time, what we did was, since there were 6 to 7 floors, we shut off 2 floors. In 4 floors, we managed with collab. We had IT guys sitting, we had HR guys sitting, we had technology guys sitting, all sitting together. That also, otherwise what happens is, we were more into barriers. So they also developed a relationship between themselves. They were able to talk to each other, they were able to understand each other. Neither the IT guys would sit differently, very differently in one of the rooms over there. The HR guys, they have their own collaboration between themselves. So with that, we were able to sort of manage it. Now the biggest challenge was transportation. Because you do not know who's coming. Because the business units used to give them a mandate that, you can come 3 days, 4 days. Who's coming 3 days, who's coming 4 days, you don't even know about it. So biggest challenge was that every day the transportation guys used to sit down in the evening, try to get their data and manage, the thing. The other thing was, when you have a building of 6 to 7 floors, each about 20,000 square foot each floor, what do you do? Because you have a central AC plant, you have your chillers running through, so you have to shut down 2 floors, whether you like it or no. That's how we use technology then. We use sensors, we use IoTs, so that you know exactly when somebody is coming. We created something which was already existing, known as hot seats. So 70, 80%, 90%, up to 90%, you say you have people coming in. 10% we used to keep in for walk-ins, which generally happens. Similarly, for the cafeteria, another problem, because you have a fixed MG for them, your service provider. Every time, every day, there is a variation of 5-10%. So then what we did was, extra food, we started collecting those food and giving it to old age homes, giving it to these sort of things. So it became a CSR activity also, undoubtedly. So these are a few things that we did. Similarly, for we had flexible workspaces in terms of your tables getting elevated and sitting down. So these are the things that we created, and we worked on these things.
Yeah, so the biggest probably to counter the challenge of hybrid is to become more agile. As you said, day to day we had to keep the count and see what was happening.
It's more
how
of
much
data
occupancy.
driven. You have
data
to
driven.
every
Yeah,
day.
so
Otherwise, you
more
used to spend
monitoring,
about 6 to 8 hours. Then you spend about 10 hours because you have to get the data
Correct.
of the last 3-4 days, try and collate something and
Right.
create something new.
Okay. What would you like to add, Preeti? Again, as a provider, how hybrid has created a challenge for the FM providers?
Trust me, my entire team was working towards managing the data at that point of time. You talk about FM, you talk about assistant FM, you talk about anybody. Whenever I used to call them, what are you doing? We are just managing the data. We don't know who is coming and who will not come tomorrow. But later, at a later stage, when we realize that yes, there is a requirement and there is a need of the technology, yes, in some of the premises, we have implemented those tools like, sir have just spoken about, which actually, helped us in basically analyzing the occupancy at a floor. And that tool also helped us to book the, workstations in advance. With that, we were also able to distribute that cost in a right way to the, demanding processes. And basis the feedbacks that were collected from the client's end, as in, it's all about expectation from the client's end as well, that, what sort of a cost they'll be investing into and what data they would like to have while analyzing it and while providing those services to the client. So, yes, I think, tools were definitely required after one point of time. And because of those smart tools only, we were able to achieve that, hybrid model
So
in an effective manner.
data and technology came to the rescue.
Certainly,
Yeah.
certainly.
Okay. Another aspect about FM is, and I think on earlier panels also someone touched, is about the cost. The clients prioritize cost over quality, which means sometimes compromising the service standards. Gaurav, how do you balance the cost and quality?
So cost is always, I think, a very, very important factor, especially I'm from a startup. We want to do everything at the lowest cost with highest value. But I just want to just come back to the hybrid point earlier. I actually look at hybrid in a very different way. I don't even think it's a challenge. It's a blessing. We are able to operate at 30-40% lesser cost, lesser seats, lesser offices, lesser staff, right? So it's a clear blessing on operating cost for the organization, number one. Number two, it perhaps was a challenge 2 years back because we did not know what's going to happen, how many will come, how many will not come. Now there is enough trend analysis done, there is enough data. Everybody knows how many people are going to come every day. Schedules have been set, trends have been set. So we are already prepared with the amount of infrastructure support that we need. So I would never see hybrid as a challenge at all. Like complete blessing. Yes, the only change that we have tried to implement in hybrid is instead of enforcing employees to come into office, we encourage them to come to office and try and get their homes to offices. I'm trying to say that we make them comfortable in offices. We have a young workforce. IPL started, we created a lounge out of the cafeteria, gave them that lounge space, sports bar, minus the drinks, obviously. They can come and watch IPL. We had an open terrace, we converted that into a pickleball court. Not the best of the world, but it's there to play. So start giving the young workforce amenities that they would want to enjoy. And they have good company already. They have their friends, they have their team members. If they're sitting at home, they perhaps don't have enough company to enjoy these amenities. Right. So completely using the hybrid model for your win-win, right? You save money for the organization, you operate at much lower costs. I would strongly encourage hybrid. I would never say, let's get back and get everybody to office. Okay. My cost will go up 40% again. Right. I'll need more offices, more staff. So
that's true.
That's my take on hybrid.
True. So that's actually, the cost efficiency that hybrid has become. And he's right, some of the offices we have seen, they are so good, it's not like back to work, it's like now back to home, you have to go home also. So the offices are that good. But again, coming to that, a lot of clients, they compromise on the cost so that they can, the compromise on quality and cost. And when we are talking about wellness, the quality standards get compromised. How do you achieve that balance that you get the best of the both?
So entire cost has to be put into two different aspects: cost optimization and cost cutting. For us, being in DLF, I don't think cost cutting is an issue. See, we command 25 to 30% rental over any of our competitor. In terms of our residential business, we command 50 to 20% of, on an average, edge over our competitors. So I don't think cost for us is an issue, but yes, cost optimization is something that we certainly look forward for. Having said that, whenever we put our value proposition before the clients, I don't think convincing them with the cost that we charge is an issue. we provide them value of the money that they are paying. We maintain some of the best, safest buildings of the country. We are definitely the largest developers, but we are the most responsible as well. We ensure that we do take care of our staff, our employees, as well as our occupants, and of course, the entire staff aspect of it. We have been ensuring repeatedly and consistently the best buildings, the most safe buildings, most energy efficient buildings. We have been able to ensure that our buildings stand. We are actually maintaining the world class buildings. Just to put the things into aspect, the Gurgaon campus that we have, Cyber City campus, is the first LEED Platinum certified complex across globe. We have some of the complexes like which have got 100% renewable energy complex. So that's the value proposition we put forward for our clients, so as to ensure that the cost is not become a deciding factor for them, but it is a complementing factor.
Correct. So I think what Rahul has rightly said, if you are maintaining your quality standards and probably going beyond, that becomes your USP. The client are ready to pay the premium for that. So Arun, what would you like to add to that?
He has put it very rightly, I think there are people, they are takers for different things in life. So if clients are expecting for it, so now even if we talk about, I represent an ID company. So we are also with you, by the way. So I think when we showcase our facility to our client and we take them to Cyber City and show this is where we are, I think it's the biggest highlight. We show it to them as, of course, we have other locations too. But I think we take pride in talking about it. So I think what he meant is truly relatable. Even as a customer to him, I'm saying that it made a lot of sense to me that, you know, when I take my customer, then I say, yes, it is. But yes, you know, of course, cost is cost, will remain. Client are actually consolidation, a lot of consolidations are happening. That doing vendor consolidation, cost is going down. So of course, it's a win for some time, because in consolidation, we also win some clients, some we lose as well. So it's the game which continue to happen. And this is not something which we knew we were doing it today. This will carry on for another few decades or so.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you.
So fantastic. I think what we have got from our speakers till now is that one is FM has evolved quite a bit, especially after COVID. It's not only about hard services, soft services, it's user experience, it's productivity. It's about attracting the employees back to workspace. And clients are ready to pay a premium if there is a quality standard which is being enforced in the physical spaces. And as Gaurav said, hybrid is something of a blessing because it brings down the operational cost for the organizations, for the companies. We have another 5 minutes to go. My last question is, in next 5 to 10 years, a lot of things are going to change. Our earlier panel spoke about climate change, which is going to go even worse in the next few years. Even workspaces, the profile of employees is becoming very varied, from baby boomers to millennials to Gen Zs. All are working together. They have completely different requirements. So how, this is my question to all of you in one sentence. How do you see the future of FM when we are talking of catering to such a varied profile of workforce with the challenge of climate resilience, maintaining sustainability? Captain Collaco goes first to you. How do you see FM in next 5 to 10 years?
See, I first let me make a statement. Wellness for us, since we are on the wellness topic, the rest of the topics have been covered. It's an investment. Let's understand that it's an investment. Why I say it is an investment is that if you start looking after your employees, number one is the productivity of the employees goes up. I have case studies where the absenteeism has come down by around 15 to 20% just because you started looking after them. Predictively, you are able to, tell which employee is probably is in that particular zone where he could have a probable heart attack, or he could, get into some other sort of a problem. So you take care of him right from the beginning. And like hybrid spaces are there. So the more you engage, it's a people engagement which is more important. So in the next 5, 7, 10 years, engagement of, like what you said, baby boomers, Gen X, and people like me also still trying to, find our foot in the FM industry. So you will find that variant. You will have to cater to each segment differently.
Correct.
It's not one size that fits all that, we are looking at. Flexible spaces will be there. You will have people who will want that, comfort of a huge office, which is no more there.
Right.
You go to the government offices, I think probably only 2 people would be sitting in an office size like this. But we talk of 5 by 2, 5 by 3, maybe 5 by 4 maximum,
Right.
and open spaces.
Right.
So that is the monitoring, because most of our things are going to be data driven, and
Correct.
it's going to be very, very flexible.
Correct.
So we have to, think on those lines, how to get people into the, and from an FM part of it, we have to be predictively, like all our maintenances have to be very, very predictive rather than preventive or, breakdown mechanisms. That won't work anymore. I don't know how many people really, get down. We talk of wellness of everybody, but we don't talk of wellness of our own staff,
Right.
right? Probably we'll find all our maintenance guys sitting down in one corner in the basement where all the fumes and all, all the gases, etc. are coming.
That's
But we
right.
never think of him.
That's
Have we ever thought of, giving them a good working space, good working environment?
That's
So we have to think on those lines also, that after all, it is because of them that we have a, good night, a good sleep night. Otherwise, we'll have a sleepless night.
That's right.
So we have to think on those lines.
That's right. I think next 5 to 10 years, as Captain Collaco mentioned, FM will become more people engaged rather than being in the basement. I think it'll be more engaged, and predictive analysis will become much more prominent for going forward for us. Preeti, how do you see FM when it comes to wellness evolving or changing in next 5 to 10 years?
So what sir have said, he have actually, it is very heartfelt statement that he have made for the blue collar staff. If a maintenance people, where they are sitting, what area they are, managing day in, day out, housekeeping people, where they sit and where they eat. Most of the companies, they not even think of, creating a housekeeping store with such a space wherein they can sit and they can eat together. So, yes, that investment that you just mentioned about, yes, that investment have started now. I see that there is a difference in the thought process of few of the companies. They are providing spaces. The wellness have started from that blue collar, from that scratch, to, going on top of the facility management, wherein people would think about having, planters on their workstations and green, buildings and everything. But then, that has to start from the scratch.
Okay. So I think
That journey have started. But having said that, there is a long way to go.
Yeah.
And I would see
So-
that, 5, 10 years down the line, we would think about that.
So as Preeti said, the FM is getting its due recognition. The pace is slow, but next 5 to 10 years, we are going to see FM becoming one of the prominent functions of any organization. Gaurav?
The buzzer's gone off, so I'll keep it short. So 10 years back, when I was transitioning from the army and finding out what should I do next, I met a lot of people, and facility management was the last of all recommendations. And the trend that was being shared was, जो कुछ नहीं कर पाता वो admin तो कर ही लेगा. तो आप तो ठीक-ठाक talented हो, कुछ और कर लो. It's been 10 years in this industry. I don't think I feel the same. I finished 10 years, and so many youngsters here who've come to collect awards today, 40 under 40, the next gen of the FM industry. If there was ever a better time to be a FM professional, it is today. The next 10 years are going to be bright, and this is the place to be. This is where we add so much value to the organizations that we are in, that there will be so much new work that will come to us that we haven't even imagined. That people who have been FM professionals 25 years back could have not imagined that after 30 years, this is what FM professionals will do. So like they say, the future is bright, the future is orange. So best of luck.
That is true. A very good statement that next 10 years are for FM function, for the admin function. Rahul, what would you like to add to that?
So I
Next
think
5 to 10
almost I
years.
echo similar to the whatever has been told
Okay.
by Gaurav. It's almost the next 10 years is going to be ours. The way the things have changed in last 4-5 years or so, the smarter buildings, IoT-based solutions, etc. And the most important aspect of this is smarter FM is something need of the
Smarter
hour.
FM. Fantastic.
That's something
Smarter FM is what we are going to see. Arun,
I think I'll just prescribe what I've been using it for last 5 years. Internally through the PSCS service, I think our function has been topping the charts in the organization for continuously 5 years. So it's a big achievement for us. The only thing which will work even in the future as well, know the noise. Please know the noise, rest will fall in place. If you know the noise, what is happening, you talk about blue collar, white collar, anybody you talk about, if you know the noise, what is happening, you'll continue to grow. So that's how it's going to work even after 5 years now. So we'll grow. Thank you.
correct. Know the noise, know the trend. Everyone spoke about technology, sustainability, everything, green buildings. But there is something required to keep those buildings running over their life cycle. And that is what facility management does. And next 5 to 10 years, as they said, facility management, COVID has brought the facility management was always very important. But it got its recognition after COVID. So, and we are going to see next years, it's going to gain much more prominence. And as our panelist said, speaker said that next 10 years are for FM. So thank you so much for being here with us and for such wonderful insights that you have all shared. Thank you so much. Thank you.